Ladies, welcome to the 2025 version of the league here at Lyman Orchards. Once again, John Dipollina, Director of Golf. And I just want to thank all of you for making this league such a tremendous success. This league, it's just amazing how fast it fills up. We filled it up in essentially 1 month. And it was so big that we decided, both Skylar Siebert, our golf shop manager, and I, that we wanted to give it a chance and maybe start a spin-off league on Mondays to accommodate those ladies who weren't able to get into the league. So that is what we've done. I'll talk a little bit about that as we go along here this afternoon. Uh, Feel free to ask questions about the topics that I'll be presenting. If there's a topic I don't present, I'll obviously answer that question at the very end. For some of you ladies, this might be a little bit repetitive for those who have done the league before, but for some of you, this will be brand new. We just want to make sure that you know that this is a well-organized, well-oiled machine here at Lyman Orchards, and we're ready to go. So I'm going to share my screen with all of you right now, and we're going to start this slideshow. Bear with me 1 second. All right. Lyman Orchards Golf Club 2025 Ladies League. So, welcoming you all back as I did prior. This is what we will talk about today during the course of this Zoom seminar. We'll talk about a social versus competitive divisions. What is that? Once you're in one, you can move to the other. You just need to tell me right away at the beginning of the year if you feel like you wanted to move up from one to the other. Fees and season pass information will be in here. We'll talk about golf rules. We'll talk a lot about golf rules and helpful hints. We'll talk quite a bit about golf etiquette and care for the courses. We'll talk, apparently, we're going to talk twice about golf rules. I didn't check that bullet point, but that's okay. We're going to talk about the formats, the format of our league, which is Stableford. It's not a stroke play, it's Stableford. I'll explain that. We'll talk about maximum score on both the Apple 9 and the championship golf courses, why they're different. We'll talk about the
Excuse me, John.
prizes.
Excuse me, John. We
Yes.
can't see your screen.
Oh,
I'll go back to mute.
can anyone else? No one else can see it?
I can see it.
I can't see it.
Okay, I apologize. Let's work out this kink here. Oh, I think I know why. Now you can see it, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, now I can see
Okay.
it.
Yes.
Thanks for stopping me. I appreciate it. I was flying blind there for a second, and now I know why. All right. So we're back to this screen here where I talk about what we're going to talk about this evening. Uh, I was talking about max score, how it's different at both courses, prizes, the rules to making tee times. We're going to talk at length about that because that's a big topic of concern for a lot of the ladies, basically the fairness of the system. How to sign up weekly for those of you who've never signed up before. We'll talk about how you're going to do that. And we'll talk about the additions to Lyman Orchards, our new addition, and some of the programming that we are offering here, including our special events. All right, so social versus competitive league. First, we'll talk about the social league, what that entails. Uh, Social league is a weekly net scoring contest and closest to the pins. So if I were to go out there and shoot 29 and Catherine goes out there and shoots 39, I'm going to beat her. But with net scoring, it involves handicap. So that's what the social league is. It's all a handicap-based system. It will not reward the best player in the league. It'll reward the player who plays the best that day in relation to their average score. This year we're doing something new. We're copying what we do with competitive league, and we're using the USGA handicap system. I'm manually putting in everyone's handicap one by one. If you have a last name in the social league that started with A to D, that's all I got to today. It's a long process. I have to do it 330 times. So had some other things I had to get done, but I did get through D. No worries, because we're not playing golf till next Tuesday. By then, everyone will have a handicap. When it comes time to turning your score in, you'll turn it in. You won't have to worry about posting your scores. I will do that for you as long as you're playing in league. The social league gets a weekly discount on greens fees from the traditional pricing that we have here at both the Jones and Player course as well as Apple. Uh, League closing day banquet is included in the social league and the social league fee. We will follow all the USGA rules and local rules. I know that there's going to be some gray area out there from a lot of players that are new to the game, and that's fine. You have to learn somehow, but we will try to follow the rules of golf. There won't be any mulligans out there, for instance. If you hit the ball out of bounds, you have to know what to do. If you hit the ball into a penalty area, you do need to know what to do. I'll explain all of that in this presentation. But for those of you that have been playing the league, and if you have a new person in your group, help them. They'll help them learn the rules of golf, because there are quite a few. We're expecting you to play in a proper pace. I'll talk about pace in a little bit and what I'm expecting there. Because the number one reason why people stop playing this game isn't because it's too challenging. It's because it's too slow. And it only takes one person to slow a golf course down. So you don't want to be that person. So I will try to help you not be that person. Uh, if you're in the social league, you can play with competitive league members in the same foursome. So let's just say you're brand new, but your girlfriend is really, really good. She's in competitive. You're in social. Can you play in the same group? Absolutely. Your scoring will be different, but you can still play in the same group. And you can still sign up and play the Jones and Player courses on Wednesdays when we run the event there. You just will not win any prize money. There is no official game for you. Competitive league is a little bit different. We will use gross and net scoring. So the best player in the league. So let's just say Andrea Frappier decided to give up her professional status and play in our ladies league. She would win gross every time. Okay. Kind of unfair, but it is going to reward the person who is the best player in the league. It seems like we have a rotation of about 10 to 12 ladies that get in there for that first place prize on a regular basis. But there are also net prizes for competitive league. Competitive league prizes there's more to pay out because we pay out those gross prizes. So there's kind of a better chance to win something if you're in the competitive league and you're at least an intermediate golfer. You will get an official USGA Gin handicap. It'll be activated by April 1st, just like the social league ladies. There is a weekly discount on the greens fees, just like there is for social league. Ladies closing day banquet will still take place in October. You're invited to that. And you can also play with social league members in the same way that the social league members can play with you. Let's talk about pace of play specifically at the Apple 9. The Apple 9, the pace of play is an hour and 45 minutes. At the main course, Jones and Player, whether it's the front or the back 9, we expect you to play in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'll talk about why there's a difference there on a later slide. Let's talk about when we're offering tee times here at the Apple 9 specifically. The Apple 9 is going to be offering tee times from 9:10 a.m. to 9:40 a.m. every 10 minutes on Monday morning. So if you're part of that Monday morning crew, it's about 25 ladies deep right now, and I expect it to grow up to 40, 45 once word gets out that we're offering this Monday league. You'll have that window to book. You'll also have the window to book from 5:10 to 5:40 if you choose to play in the afternoon. I'm starting these off relatively small. If we get a bigger league, I will add to the back end of those times. So and I'll add a 5:50, I'll add a 9:50, I'll add a 10 a.m., I'll add a 6 p.m. as long as it calls for it. Tuesday AM League is our biggest crew. As you can tell, it's over almost 4.5 hours of tee times, and it's every 9 minutes. That'll open up at 7:30 to 11:51. Tuesday PM League is approximately 3 p.m. to 6:54. 6:54 is going to be later in the day in June and early July. We can't send anybody out 6:54 next week. You would never get it in. You'd probably get 2 holes in and you'd have to come in. So you'll see that it'll start out at 3 and go to about 5:45, but it'll grow as the sun gets, as the days get longer and then it'll start to wane as the days get shorter again. Thursday league, 8 to 9. Thursday league, 3 p.m. to 6:54 in the same manner as the Tuesday league. Uh, the competition at Apple 9 is from the green Apple tee box. That's the default tee box. If you want to take the challenge and you want to play from the yellow or the orange tee boxes, they are rated. So your handicap would take effect, but it will be harder to win that it will be harder to win that gross prize if you're part of the competitive league. I just say that because some ladies want the challenge. We're not going to take that challenge away from you, but you just need to tell me via email, say, John, I'd like to play from the yellow tee box, yellow apples when I play the Apple 9, and I'll make the adjustment on the back end. If you wanted to play from the orange apples, which are the biggest challenge, you're more than welcome to do so as well. Let's talk about the Jones and Player course. As I stated earlier, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes maximum pace of play. Our options on Wednesday morning are Wednesday period. I should have taken the AM part away. 9:57 a.m. through 11 a.m. And then in the PM, it's 3:39 p.m. through 5:09 p.m. Times again will be added on the back end as long as when the sun starts getting longer in the sky. Again, much like Apple, if you'd like to play the gold tees, which are about 5,900 yards, it's a pretty long golf course. You're more than welcome to do so. If you're going to play gold tees, email me so I can adjust that for your handicap. And I know I had mentioned earlier, social division ladies can play on the Jones and Player course on Wednesdays, but there is no scoring for the social league. Once in a great while, we'll have a split payout on the front nine, back nine. For instance, if we had a tournament in the afternoon on Jones' course, but not in the morning, we might send the ladies out in the morning on Jones' front and in the afternoon on Jones' back. If that happens, we'll split the payouts because it wouldn't be fair to compete. All right, let's talk about greens fees and talk about the season pass. Greens fees will remain the same this year, $17 per 9-hole round of golf here at the Apple 9. It's $6 to rent a push cart here at the Apple 9, and we're getting new carts throughout the property. If you've been up here, you've probably seen these brand new fire engine red golf carts. Smooth ride. I got to ride in one the other day with much better than the old carts. The cart fee is at $11. It went up $1 here at the Apple 9. Season pass. The season pass price has remained the same as well. So what is the season pass? The season pass allows you for $649, you just show up and play golf. You can check in, but you don't have to show up with any money. The greens fees are complimentary for the whole year. How would it pay for itself? Well, if you play 1.5 times a week, it pays for itself, no problem. If you play once a week and you're only going to come to play Apple 9 once a week, I wouldn't purchase the season pass. I would just pay my $17 per week. But if you know you're going to get here 2-3 times a week, it's a complete no-brainer. We also offer a couples pass. Now that's a couples for people that are obviously spouses living together. They have to live in the same household. That's $849. It's a really good price. If your spouse likes to play golf, take advantage of that as well. You can find information on that online under our website, lymangolf.com. Now for the Jones and Player course, the greens fees are $35 per 9-hole round of golf, includes the riding cart at the Jones and Player course. There's a small discount. If you are a season pass holder at the Apple 9, there's a 10% discount when you play on Wednesdays at the Jones and Player course. There is another pass. I didn't mention it in the slideshow, but it is a Lyman Orchards membership. It's an all-inclusive membership. You can play at the Apple 9, the Jones course, the Player course. There's a separate membership if you'd like to include the carts. The price is over $2,000, but it is available to you. And if you have any questions on that, feel free to email me or visit our website or talk to Nick Del Vecchio, the head golf professional at the Jones and Player course. All right, we'll talk a little bit about golf etiquette, golf rules, and helpful hints. So here's that part about pace of play. Apple 9 is 1 hour and 45 minutes. Jones is 2 hours and 15 minutes. Apple 9 is a par 29 golf course. Jones and Player are either par 35 or par 36. So we know there's par fives on the Jones and Player course. There are no par fives on Apple 9 for those of you that aren't too familiar. We only have two par fours on the Apple 9. The Jones and Player course, you're going to play a minimum of four par fours when you go up there and play. Uh, because of that, it's going to take a little bit longer. So that's why we give you that extra 30 minutes to play Jones and Player. Uh, Pace of play, how to have great pace. I talk about this in a lot with my lessons, whether they're junior lessons, ladies lessons, men's lessons, mostly beginner lessons. These are some very, very basic hints on how to speed up without rushing. The last thing we want you to do is to go up there and just rush and feel nervous over your ball. You'll save a lot of time if you can do these basic things. Basically, be ready to hit the ball. So if it's a group of four ladies on the first tee here at the Apple 9, you should have ball, tee, and club in hand. You shouldn't wait for player one to hit, then go back to your bag, go grab your club and a tee and a ball. You should have it ready to go. After you hit your shot, you should go to your ball. You don't need to go to everyone else's golf ball as long as safety isn't a concern. If you're riding in a cart, you should drop the player off and then take the cart to your ball, or vice versa. You should leave the cart with the player who's going to hit first, and you walk to your ball. Very simple thing to do. Really speeds up the pace of play. You should analyze your putt while others are putting. So unless you're the first player, you should be kind of scouting your putt out to make sure, okay, I think it's going to break right to left. So when it's your turn to hit, you're ready to go. You're not walking around the hole from different angles like on tour. We're not on tour. I don't even pretend when I'm out there doing it. I don't walk around three, four angles. I'm ready to go when it's my turn to putt. I usually tell all my beginner students, take one practice swing. No one's here to watch you make practice swings. I promise you. They would enjoy watching you play golf and hit some good shots. So six, seven practice swings is a huge culprit of pace of play issues. If you're going to take practice swings, do it while someone else is hitting their shot, especially if it's on the tee. Leave the clubs between the hole and your bag/cart. What do I mean by that? So let's just say you're on the first green here at the Apple 9 and you just pitch the ball into the green. You want to put your pitching wedge in between where you parked your cart and the first tee. Excuse me, the hole. Uh, One reason why you won't lose your clubs that way. Number two is if you leave it on the front of the green and you have to walk all the way back to the front of the green and then all the way back, it's going to slow you down. So we don't want us to be slowed down by 30 seconds. It's only going to help your pace of play if you just leave your clubs between basically the hole and where you left your bag/cart. You always want to park next to the next tee box if possible. Uh, Hole number two green and 3T is a good example of this on the Apple 9. A lot of ladies will leave their cart like on the left side of that green or even short left. The best thing to do is to actually drive it all the way around, all the way to the third tee box and then walk backwards. That'll pick up your pace of play quite a bit. There's going to be some holes you just can't do that on, but on most of the holes you can get ahead, make some time for yourself by getting ahead. And then the one I always talk to my juniors about, mark scores on the following tee box, not at the pin. Everybody will start doing this, 1, 2, 3, 4, right next to the pin while there's a group on the tee. Don't do it there. Start walking to your cart, walk to your push cart, go to the next tee box, and then figure the score out. Penalty strokes must be applied to score. Okay, so there's no free drops unless your ball is on a cart path. If your ball goes out of bounds, you need to take penalty. I'll explain what happens if your ball goes out of bounds later. If your ball is relieved from the penalty area, meaning you hit it into a pond, you're going to take a drop near the pond more than likely. You have to take a penalty. Is my ball lost? Uh, That's one of that's one of the worst penalties you could have because you're supposed to go back to the tee. But if you lose your ball, you lose your ball. You're not supposed to just take a drop anywhere in the area. And am I taking relief from an unplayable lie, meaning my ball is right next to a tree and I'm afraid I might hurt myself? or I might break a golf club by swinging next to this unplayable lie, you're supposed to take a penalty from that. You're not just supposed to use your foot and kick it out and hit your second shot. Penalty areas versus out of bounds. Penalty areas, red and yellow, they're marked with red and yellow stakes. I'll explain what the difference is between the red and yellow stakes. Basically, those are indicating watery areas or swampy areas here at the Apple 9. OB, out of bounds, is indicated by white stakes. And that's a totally different rule. That indicates that you're in a street, you're on someone else's property, maybe you're on the range. Uh, the rule there is totally different. You're supposed to return to the previous spot and add a stroke. So I'll talk about that later to get and I'll have a picture ready to go so you can see it. Players in the group are responsible to keep others in the group honest, not the pro shop. So you're out there playing with three other ladies, and it's your job to protect the field. So if you see one of the ladies, maybe she's cheating on purpose, maybe she's cheating by mistake, whether one or the other, you're supposed to call that person out. You're supposed to protect all the other ladies that can't see her making that mistake. So let's just say it's I don't know, the third hole here at the Apple 9, and your tee shot goes into the hayfield on the left. If you re-tee it, and you're probably going to you might re-tee that, you're now hitting your third shot. Let's just say you hit that lady hits that third shot onto the green in two putts. It's not a par. It's not a four. It's a five. If someone tries to give the wrong score, let's try to make sure that we're giving the right score. Just to keep it honest for everyone in the league. This is exactly how we play when Coach Jason Goblick, myself, when we go play tournament golf, we have to protect the field and play by the rules, and we expect everyone in our group to as well. A couple more helpful hints for pace of play. Players should be ready to play as soon as it is their turn to play. When playing on or near a putting green, they should leave their bags or carts in such a position will enable quick movement off the green towards the tee. We kind of covered that already. And then we talked about how we should leave the green immediately after the last ball is holed out. This is a rule that a lot of players don't know how to utilize it, and I think it's really, really useful. It's called a provisional ball. So what happens is if you believe your ball might be lost, basically out of play, possibly out of bounds, you should play a provisional ball. If you're hitting it right down the middle of the fairway, you don't need to hit a provisional ball, even if you're in the left or right rough, or maybe it's a grounder. But if you advance it and you're like, oh no, that could be in someone's backyard, you should be playing a provisional ball. Let's just say you go up there and you realize, uh-oh, that first ball did indeed go into someone's backyard. Now you can go to the second shot. You hit the provisional ball and play that from there. That'll save you the time and the headache of walking all the way back to the tee. I know a lot of people probably don't do that. They probably just throw one down, but that is the rule, and I do want to educate you on the proper rules. And you shouldn't be searching for a ball for more than 3 minutes. That's a rule in the USGA handbook. Again, how to slow down a golf course, start looking for a ball 7, 8 minutes. The rule is 3 minutes. And if you don't find it and you didn't play a provisional ball, you're supposed to go back to the original spot. Here for the course. We have really good bunkers here at the Apple 9 and on Jones Player. They were all repaired in 2020 and they drain really well. But before leaving a bunker, please make sure that you are filling up and smoothing all the holes and footprints that you made. I see it all the time here at Apple. People there's rakes out there, so I don't want to say why I don't think people are doing it, but they're not doing it. So make sure that you are raking those bunkers to make it fair for the people behind you. If Yes, and that's why the rake is there. It should be used for that purpose. Care for the course. People should be repairing their ball marks on the greens. So if you hit a high shot into a green, it's going to make a ding, specifically in the spring when the ground is a little softer. If you're making that gouge you see on the left there in that picture, that divot, you should be picking that gouge up and putting it back in its place like a puzzle piece and stepping on it. A perfect example of this is hole number 2 here at Apple. It's the wettest part of the golf course. So it's easy, very easy to take that big chunk out. If because it's so wet, it should basically go back so easily into place. If you were able to put that back, it's going to actually adhere and it's going to grow again. If you don't, in about 6 hours, it's going to dry out and die, and that area will just remain a big fat divot. So we don't want that. It's not good for the ball to go into a divot. It's a harder shot. We don't want our heels in the feet in the divot as well, in case your ball was next to it. So please repair those divots. Basic rules for white, yellow, and red stakes. What are they? White stakes define out of bounds. Okay, it's a very penal rule. It's a one-stroke penalty, but you have to go back to where you hit it from. So that's why it makes it so penal. You just can't drop next to those white stakes. You have to go back. There are places on the golf course here at the Apple 9 and Jones and Player where you will see white stakes. Uh, Once in a while, it's marked by white paint. You'll only see that on the Jones Player course. Basically, those white stakes are telling you it's either A, not Lyman's property, so someone's backyard, or it's deemed dangerous, like the range where you could get hit with a ball, or the street. We don't want you crossing that main artery. Example of this is the 7th hole here at Apple. Uh, you will see white stake. It might not even be marked with white stakes, number 7, honestly. But if you hit the ball into the street on number 7, which a lot of you think, well, that seems like a long way out. Well, if you're left-handed, it might not be a long way out. I've seen left-handers hit the ball into the street there. You must re-hit from the prior location. So if you hit that off the tee into the street on number 7, you're supposed to hit another shot from the tee, and that'll be your 3rd shot. Can't drop from next to the street. There are other spots here on the golf course that will have that happen. Number 3 is a hole you might see that happen on because the 3rd hole has the range on the right side as well. Yellow stakes. Yellow stakes, it's a little more friendly, the penalty. You get to One of the options is to play from where you last played with a one-stroke penalty. So if you hit a tee shot and it goes in the water, you can re-hit if you want. Most times that's not the right play. You can play the ball as it lies from inside the penalty area, incurring no penalty. So that guy in that picture, he's not playing that shot. He's not going to go in there, waist deep into the water and hit a shot. But if there might be an area where if you look at where his right knee is technically in the penalty area. So if the ball came to rest where his right knee is, you could play it from there with no penalty. And then the other option, which is what this gentleman's going to do, is he's going to take relief, no nearer the hole. So he's going to take where that ball crossed the yellow line, and he's going to drop on the line from where it crossed and keeping the flag in a line with it. You can go back as far as you want, and there's a penalty there. You won't see yellow stakes too much here. I don't know if you'll even see it here I don't even know if you'll see it at all on Apple 9. I'm trying to think right now. I don't think you'll see it, but you will see it at Jones Player and a lot of other golf courses that you go to. Example of this is the 5th hole on the player course. So we have some giant penalty areas on the player course, that front 9 specifically. So if you were to hit your ball into that penalty area on your drive, you're supposed to come back and take a drop. So you could drop all the way back as far as where it says 5th fairway. You could drop it 2 club lengths from those yellow lines if you wanted to. This can be a little bit challenging. Hopefully someone in the group can educate you on it, but if you don't know how to do it, I'd be happy to explain it to you as well. A couple of our course holes on the golf course, number 5 on player, number 8 on player, have special drop zones so that you don't have to keep dropping behind the penalty area. We would let you advance it to the drop zone. I use this hole as an example of of where the drop zone would be located approximately. The superintendent may move it around from time to time based on how dead the area, how dead the grass is in the area. But if you do go to the drop zone, it is a shot penalty. Okay. Red stakes. You have one more option that you can utilize here if you see red stakes. You can again those first three. The first one is play again from where you last played with a one-stroke penalty. Play the ball as it lies in the penalty area. This might happen where you maybe hit into a dried out stream. So in this past fall, it got very dry. You might have hit the ball in the penalty area, but you're like, hey, I can still hit this ball. What's the rule on that? The rule on that is you can hit it at no penalty. Uh, but sometimes those areas aren't as dry. You can see that gentleman there hitting a shot from inside the penalty area, that sandy area. Apparently, that area at that golf course might flood a lot. That's why they've marked it with those red stakes. The most popular thing to do if you see red stakes, though, will be to take 2 club lengths of where the ball crossed the line, no nearer the hole. So you're going to drop for two club lengths to your right, to your left, approximately in that triangle there. And the final one was one I spoke to prior in regards to yellow. It's the same option. Basically, the most popular one there is the one you can't do with yellow. Example of red stakes on the Apple 9 is the third hole. That'll be marked with red stakes. So if you hit the ball and it goes over that into that higher grass, you might not want to go play it. Right now, it's actually all knocked down. So if you go over there, you'll probably find it. You could probably play it with no penalty and take advantage of that the time of year we're in. All right, let's talk a little bit about scoring in this league. For those of you that are new to the league, we don't just count our strokes and tally it up, and that's the score. We actually do something called Stableford scoring. So let's just say you played the first hole and you made a par 3. Good job. You earned 2 points for yourself. Let's just say you played the next hole. It's a par 4 and you made a birdie. You earned 3 points for yourself. So you're earning positive points. Why are we doing this scoring like this? Well, let's just say you go to the third hole and you can't hit water from a boat. You're just having a tough time out there and you just have to pick up. You're not ruining your round of golf. You'll get 0 points for the third hole, but you're not ruining your round. You can go with a clean slate to the fourth hole. This is exactly the way I run my winter golf trips for the past 12 years. Everyone's really looking forward to going to Orlando and playing on my trip, but nobody's really been preparing for it. It's in the middle of February. So they're going to have great holes, and they're going to have awful holes. So we don't penalize them for the awful holes. And this is the same scoring system we use for the Ladies League, and it's been wonderful. All right, max score on each course. Again, the holes on the Apple 9 course are much shorter than the holes on the Jones and Player course. So that's why there's different rules. Here at Apple, a 6 is the maximum you can take on the par 3s. So if you play the first hole and after you putt for 6, pick the ball up. It's all done. All you're going to do is write 6 on the card. If you play the second hole here at Apple and you're putting for 7 and you miss the 7th shot, pick it up, put it in your pocket, write down 7 on the scorecard. We do that for pace of play reasons. Jones and Player course is a little different. The holes are longer. The par 3s are about the same in distance, so we keep that at 6 as the max. The par 4s are longer, though. Most of them are longer than our 2 here at Apple. 8 is the max, and then par 5s are much longer. Like the 9th hole on the Jones course is a heck of a hole. Max is 10. After 10, please pick up. Okay, prize money. I touched upon this earlier. For social division, you're only winning net prizes, meaning your handicap will be involved in the scoring. There is a closest to the pin. It's in combination with the competitive ladies. Competitive division, there's gross and net weekly scoring. We pay more net scoring than we do gross, so we'll pay 2/3 of the prize. Well, probably more than that, probably 3/4 of the prize money. but we pay out more places. So last year, for instance, we paid out 4 places for gross and 6 places for net. I envision it something similar for 2025. So if a player wins prize money, it'll be distributed in Pro Shop credit. Uh, Credit can be used for merchandise, instruction, which is amazing. No course lets you use their credit for instruction, which we do. You can use it for range balls, etc. Cannot be used for greens fees. Can't be used for card fees. Can't be used for gift certificates. Can't be used to pay for a putt for pink, things like that, because that's a greens fee technically. But it can be used for those things I mentioned earlier. And all those winnings need to be used by December 31st, 2025. I really like to keep this shop fresh. Skylar and the 2 young ladies who I've had running the shop in the past, Lauren and Cassidy, have done an outstanding job buying for the shop. And I just want to make sure that this shop is fresh. And the easiest way to do that is to make sure that the money gets used by the end of the year. So please utilize that shop money by December 31st. You'll get numerous emails from me in December reminding you if you haven't used your money yet. Oh, and the final thing is because we're running the Monday league and the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday week so separate this year, you could win on Monday and Thursday, just so you know. Can't win on Tuesday and Thursday because that's the same pot of money, but the Monday money is separate from the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so you could technically win twice in a week. All right, making a tea time. I heard a couple ladies asking earlier why they couldn't make tea times. The tea times will go live tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. You will have the ability to sign up to 2 weeks in advance, beginning at 7 a.m. on Golf Genius. Everybody should have had a Golf Genius account set up for them by Skylar Siebert already. I have not entered all the GIN numbers yet, as I mentioned earlier, but everyone should have an account. If you don't, email me and I'll try to get on that this evening so you can be ready for 7 in the morning. You have the ability online to cancel up to 11 p.m. the night before. After that, it locks. You're going to have to call it in. If you call in at 6 in the morning and get our voicemail, that's fine. Leave a voicemail. But we don't allow you to book cancel online for reasons that basically are organizational reasons. Uh, Please do not sign friends up for times they can't make it to. This is going to start turning into the etiquette part of this conversation. In the past, we've had ladies signing their friends up, rubber stamping them for tea times, uh, not paying attention that this someone's going on vacation for 3 weeks. The lady you sign up for that doesn't show up is going to be held accountable. We have 330 ladies in the league. We have plenty of times. The problem is there are times that everyone wants, just like in life. It's just a better time. On the Saturdays, everybody wants to play at 9 in the morning. Those are times that are harder to get. So please only sign up you and your friends that you know are going to play. I ask that kindly, but this is one of the number one complaints that I get from the ladies bad mouthing other ladies. When they come through and they see that the tee sheet is 4:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday and there's only 2 ladies on the tee, and those 2 ladies say, yeah, the other 2 ladies canceled on us. Uh, People get very disappointed to hear that news. So let's make sure that we are not signing our friends up unless they're actually going to play. Listen, we all know that things happen at the last minute. So if you can't make a tee time, it's your responsibility. Please call the pro shop. Just call us up. We understand, but what you're doing is you're giving another group the chance to maybe go 10 minutes sooner. You're giving a walk-up lady who maybe is just sticking around a chance to jump into that game. A lot of reasons why. Please call the shop if you can't make your time. And I had mentioned leaving a voicemail if necessary. Please do not email me, Nick, or Skylar, or use the Golf Genius message board. I never check that Golf Genius message board. I do check my email a lot, but if I'm playing in a golf tournament and I'm not here Tuesday morning, I'm not going to be able to get that. There's just no way I'm going to check my email during the middle of the fifth hole in my tournament and call Skylar to say, hey, Mrs. Smith isn't coming. So please just call it in and leave a voicemail. Uh, I threatened to do this last year. I didn't get to it. Please, I don't want to make a list of no-shows. The staff kind of knows who the no-show violators are. Uh, don't get on that list because there's gonna have to be some kind of repercussion if you're a repeat offender of this, especially if you're taking times in the busiest windows, which are 8 to 10 and 4 to 6. All right, step two. You should have received this email from the Pro Shop already, entering to Golf Genius. This is the one where if you didn't, please email me, and I will make sure that you get it. There occasionally people's emails are getting blocked, uh, but you should have gotten this already, an email from us. Talk a little bit about Golf Genius. This is the logo of the app that you're going to want to download on your phone because scoring is always done on our phone. If you absolutely want to turn the scorecard into the pro shop after your round of golf, you can do so. It's not a problem. But most ladies like to turn the scores in hole by hole using the app. You'll be able to see the live scoreboard on there as well. It's got a lot of cool features. You're going to be prompted when you first sign in to create a permanent password. From there, you're going to select your name from the list. Select the time that you want to play, the date you want to play. And then you're popping yourself into the time frame of your choice. So you can kind of see below there, there's some purple there. That person jumped into that game right in that slot. This might look a little different now. The actual web page might be a little bit different looking, but this is the idea. And there it is completed. Okay, this Ladies League does have an official league website. If you want to write this down, you're more than welcome to. It's Lyman Ladies League 2025.golfgenius.com. A lot of information is on this website, including all of the rules I talked about. It's going to have a screenshot of every slide that I'm preparing here today. I will be uploading that at some point to the site. And the GG ID for the league is LOLL 2025. That means Lyman Orchards Ladies League 2025. The Monday Only League is a little different. It's got an M after the 2025 in both the website and the GG ID. What can you see on the official league website? We talked a little bit about it, but you can find the weekly signups. You can see all the tee times. You can see the calendar for the season. There's a couple dates that you'll notice on the calendar that we don't have golf. I'll talk about why that is. You can see the results and most importantly, the rules in these PDFs that I've created. Talk a little bit about the team here. The team has changed a tiny bit this year going into 2025. You'll see that gentleman there in color. His name is Derek Snetro. He is a PGA associate member. He's joining us from Racebrook Cut Golf Club down in Orange. He is absolutely outstanding, absolute gentleman. He has not gotten his PGA quite yet. He's in level 2 of a 3-step process, but he is joining the team and joining a team of 8 LPGA or PGA professionals. Returning to the team, Sarah Proper comes back, John Wilson, Jason Goblick, myself, Coach Alex Cavallari, who's a top 50 junior instructor in the country now, voted on by Operation 36, which is a huge deal. Coach Brian Mooney returns for his second season. Coach Andrew Frappier will be returning once her Trinity Golf team season concludes, so you might see her from time to time here, May 1st till the end of July. Returning to the team is Skylar Sieber for one last year as golf shop manager before she ventures off to her job as a aspiring lawyer in the Bronx, believe it or not. Nick Del Vecchio is our head golf professional. He oversees the Jones and Player course. Specifically, if you have any questions about the league on a Wednesday when you're up there, Nick and his partners, Casey and Nick, will be able to help you out for certain. Overseeing the entire property, the golf property, is our PGA General Manager, Jason Beeford. Jason's been here the longest. If most ladies know who Jason is, friendly guy. He oversees the restaurant. He oversees golf. He oversees the winter extravaganzas that we have here. He's the hardest working man on property. Great guy to have in your corner. If you have any questions about what we do here, he's definitely someone to ask. And then Darren Wondolowski, Director of Grounds. He's been here, I believe, 9 years now. Apple 9 keeps getting better and better. He's done an outstanding job from a greens perspective. Greens are outstanding here for as many rounds as we get. Place is always looking really good. Does his very best to put out a great product for us here at the Apple. And anyone with a star next to their name, just so you know, is available for private instruction right now. So Sarah, John, Jason, myself, Alex, and Brian are available for private instruction. And Derek and Andrew will come on board later, and they'll be available for private instruction at that time. We're offering a lot of programs that are geared towards you, the Lyman Ladies League participant. So many of you have come to us through our Golf for Women 101 program, which is basically the beginners of golf. Clearly, you've outgrown that program, and I think that most of you have outgrown even our 201 program, which is a lot of range work. But I think you can always get better. And the Golf for Women 301 and 401 programs are where I would steer you. 301 is on-course instruction with one of our golf pros going over specific shots on the Apple 9 golf course. So yes, will you hit a couple tee shots? Of course. But we're going to throw you into that second green bunker. We're going to make you hit off of a side hill lie. We're going to make you hit off of the back of the fourth green, hitting difficult shots that you're going to see during the course of your round. And while you're out there, simply ask one of the coaches, be like, can we work on this shot specifically here? And they'd be more than willing to work on that specific shot, because you're the ones that are dictating to us what you want to work on in those 301 classes here at Apple. 401 is run exactly the same. It's just at the Jones and Player course. There's some shots up there at Jones and Player you will not see here at the Apple 9. A fairway bunker shot, for instance. So we want to work on shots that you're going to work on while you're playing league play, and that's 301 and 401. Once again, 301 is at the Apple 9, and 401 is at the Jones and Player course. Play with a PGA LPGA Pro is a little different. You will play 9 holes with the PGA or LPGA Pro. It's a little less on hand-holding and more about telling you how you're basically coaching you through a round of golf. So if you are picking the wrong club completely on a chip shot, we're going to tell you that. And then you're going to hit your shot and play it out. But you're going to play 9 holes of golf during the course of that round of golf. If you're doing LPGA, PGA Pro here at Apple, you'll play alongside 2 other ladies and your golf pro. Actually, gentlemen are invited to play in this as well. And if you're playing on the Jones or Player course, let me rephrase. It could be as many as a 5-some here at Apple, maximum 4-some on Jones and Player, and that includes the instructor playing. A program we restarted here recently was Super Speed Golf. Everyone wants to hit the ball farther. We must have had 50 people come through this program this winter indoors, but it's really not designated to be an indoor program. It's basically designated to teach you how to swing faster. The class is one class. That's all it is. We're going to teach you how to do it in one class, and then it's on you to work on it. It's basically like going to the gym, learning a new exercise, and then when you go back to the gym, you don't necessarily have the trainer there breathing down your neck. You're going to do it yourself. The good news is you don't even have to come to the golf course to utilize this super speed golf technology. You can do it at home and work on it 3 days a week for 15 minutes tops, and then you will hit the ball farther. There's no doubt about it. Spring, summer tune-up, we're offering that right now. You can still sign up for those. There's a few spots left in the spring tune-up. Basically, it is what it is. We're going to get you short game, full swing, and on-course play ready to go for Ladies League. And then private instruction. Obviously, we have 8 instructors here teaching full-time. They're all amazing. They all have special talents in their own way. You can visit our website and to kind of see who you might want to take a lesson from. There are discounts once you start taking a series of 5 lessons and 10 lessons as well. Okay. I mentioned Skylar. She's our golf shop manager. She's the smiling face you'll see a lot of times here on Tuesdays and Thursdays here at Apple. She will take all special orders. So, and as well as my staff, the girls behind the counter all know how to take a special order and a shoe order. So if you like one of the shoes that we have, or but we don't have it in your size, or maybe you saw Style by FootJoy or Puma, which are our two shoe vendors that you really like and you want us to order, we'd be happy to do it. Special events coordinator is also Skylar Seabird. She's running the Golfer Fun Scrambles, Women's Golf Day, and Putt for Pink. Her email address is there on the board. So if you were to sign up for one of our special events and you want to play with three other ladies specifically, we're going to have you email her. She does an outstanding job of putting those foursomes together. They're a lot of work. So if you get those requests in way in advance, you won't be surprised day of. Let's talk about those special events. I think this is one of the things that makes Lyman special. The first one is a Golf for Fun Scramble event. These are 9-hole events. We run two of them, one in May and one in July. We have not set a date yet. I'm waiting for my contact at the main golf course to set that date. But these are 9-hole scramble events on the Jones and Player course. Why do we run them? It's intimidating to go from Apple 9 to Jones and Player for the first time. For those of you who have played Jones and Player 100 times, you might not, you don't have that uncomfortable feeling. But if you were to go play any new golf course for the first time, you might get that uncomfortable feeling. That's what a lot of the ladies who just play Apple get. So we want to take the edge off for them and have them play in a specific event. There's no competition, just to come and play the Jones and Player courses. So we do that twice. Uh, Ladies' Day closing banquets, another special event we have. It's scheduled for Thursday, October 9th at 5:30. We don't play golf before it. You will still sign up on Golf Genius. We put together a heck of a spread. It's always amazing. Last year, I think there was some kind of eclipse going on. Not an eclipse. It was the Northern Lights were going on. It was amazing. It was a great evening and very social and a great way to cap the season. The two big special events that we run here, we take tremendous pride in them, are Women's Golf Day and Putt for Pink. Women's Golf Day is a celebration of you, women, in playing golf. We offer two events, a morning event and an afternoon event. We used to just run an afternoon event, but it got so big we were able to offer the morning. And we're able to sell out both. Usually we have about 250 ladies that participate over the course of the day. Both of the events are followed by their own individual banquets. You'll sign up under the events page at Lyman Golf under Golf Center. I have not launched that link yet, but I will be. There's raffles, huge raffle, prizes, and complimentary clinics that are done through the course of Women's Golf Day. Last year we had Marissa Kula-Crow, our former LPGA professional and teacher of the year across the country, join us, and I am hoping she will join us again this year. I already planted the seeds, so hopefully she can follow through and clear that schedule. And again, like I mentioned earlier, you'll contact Skylar with the pairings for that. Putt for Pink is in the fall. We are going to hold it on a Wednesday this year. It's a little different. It's a different day on the calendar, so I want to make sure everybody knows that. I will be making sure all the ladies know it's on a Wednesday this year. It is a 4 p.m. shotgun. This is a 100 and usually we can get about 250 people out there again because Lyman Orchards closes down both golf courses in preparation for this. It's also followed by a huge raffle and banquet, and all the proceeds from that raffle go to the Middlesex Breast Cancer Awareness Center at Middlesex Hospital. Again, you'll sign up for that event in the same spot, but those are the dates for those in case you want to circle those. All right, I'm going to open this up to questions here. There's my email address, and there is Skylar's email address as well, in case you need to write that down. Again, if you didn't get that Golf Genius email me so that I can resend it. Occasionally, it doesn't like certain email addresses, so we'll make sure that maybe we can change emails, whatever it takes, in order to get you on board. All right, so let me see here. Okay. So I'm going to open it up to any questions as well. I see there's some questions already, I believe. Let me see. There might be some questions on the chat board. Let me take a look. And I'll start addressing the ones on the chat board first. Please review the procedure to take if your ball lands on the cart path. Very good. Okay, so let's just say you're on the first hole. You're at the apple mine and you hit a ball and it's on the cart path. You cannot drop the ball to the right side of that cart path. You're going to need to drop it on the left side of the cart path because you cannot drop it anywhere closer to the hole. That'll be the easiest explanation. So you take that ball, move it to the left side of that cart path, and then you can hit your shot. There is no penalty for that, though. So that's the good news. The bad news is you might be playing from 10 to 12 feet farther away. The good news is no penalty. If you'd like to play the ball off the cart path, you can. There's no rule saying you can't. You have to take it off the cart path. We just don't. We think, in the rules of golf, it's kind of it's unfair because that's a man-made cart path. It shouldn't even be there in the first place. So you would move it about 10, you're just going to move it to the left side of the cart path, drop from knee height, and then hit your shot from there. Let's see. The next question was last week when I played the Apple 9, the yellow tee markers were closer to the pin and the green tee markers were further back. So I went out there with a lesson. Catherine is on this call. She saw me running around like a clown, moving yellow tee markers and green tee markers back to where they belong. They were there because the new guy on the maintenance staff didn't pay attention to the scorecard. I've addressed it with the superintendent. That shouldn't happen again. If you see something like that happen, call the pro shop immediately. Once in a great while, we forget to rotate the green tee markers on the fourth hole specifically, maybe after a junior event, because we usually move those tee markers all the way. We make it easier for the juniors, essentially. Once in a while, the green tee markers will be in an inappropriate spot. Call us, let us know, and play from the spot it's supposed to be at traditionally. What are the rules on scoring? Does everyone keep their own score, or should we do so as a group? So if you do it as a group after each hole, that's fine. You're basically vouching for each other's score on each hole. If you do it on your own, everybody should be vouching after the round. So it's going to be a little more tricky if you're going to do it on your own after the round. I recommend doing it as a group after each hole. That's kind of how I've always done it. That's how we do it in tournament golf. And if there is a discrepancy, let's say that Catherine thinks I made a 4 and I'm telling her I made a 3. Well, that's where you talk it out on the next tee box. Be like, hey, you forgot that you have to take penalty there, John. Oh yeah, okay. Thank you. You might forget during the course of the 9-hole round. If that happens on hole 1, by the time you come back into the clubhouse, you might forget. So I would recommend doing it immediately. Excuse me, on the next tee. What if one person out of 4 doesn't want their score kept? Absolutely no problem. You do not have to turn your scoring. So if you're a beginner golfer, and obviously this is a social league, and you're like, I'm not interested in keeping score, just let the ladies know. Just let the ladies in your group know. I do want you to know after 7 shots, you need to pick up because it's for pace of play reasons. It has nothing to do with your score. So, but if you don't want your score kept for reasons we'll leave to you, no problem. You don't have to have your score turned in at all. You can't win anything though if you don't turn the score in. Can you change the tee you play from after midseason? Sure, just email me and we'll change it. Basically, I just have to go into the back end and change it. What is the procedure if your ball lands in a puddle or in a coarse metal marker that is a depression on the course? Excellent question. You'll see that on hole number 2 here at the Apple 9, sometimes even on 9. Hit that tee shot into a puddle. That is not a penalty. You can move the ball essentially 1 club length, no closer to the hole, and you get complete relief from that puddle. So if you're standing in the puddle and your ball happens to be in the on the grass, you can move it. You get complete relief from that puddle. It may mean moving 20, 30, 40 feet. Just can't be closer to the hole. Keep in mind, it might make your shot harder. So you still could play from your feet in the soaking water and the ball on the grass. You can play it there, but the rules are there to make sure that it's a fair level playing field. A puddle in the middle of the fairway should not be there, and that's why you can move it. A depression is the same thing. If you were to hit it on one of those round markers in the middle of the course, like the red, white, and blue markers. Uh, that's the same thing. A divot is not the same thing. A divot is not the same. It is totally different. You're supposed to play it from the divot. Maybe mention the importance of playing ready golf. This is a big time saver, not having to wait for whoever is farthest away might quite be ready. So this is going towards, is it safe for me to stand on the other side and be ready to play? Yes, if it's safe, you feel like I'm not going to get hit. I'm all the way on the right. This player's on the left. Go to your ball. Now, if your ball's 15 feet in front of the other person's ball, you can't do that. You'll get killed. But if you feel like you're not going to get struck by the golf ball, we want you to be ready. So walk to your ball. This is very, very, very important on the Jones and Player course, where you're going to have more second shots into holes. On the at Apple, you might not have as many second shots into holes. The first hole, you might knock it on the green. The seventh hole, the fifth hole, these are shorter holes. You might knock it right on the green. You might have to wait if you're on the green. But making sure that you're playing ready golf, go to your ball. We don't need to huddle up like a football team and go from one ball to the next. Go to your own ball if possible, if it's safe. Let's see. What if you can't find a time that works for you? You should be the windows are big. So if you have a half hour window to find it, you're going to have trouble finding a time, especially if it's in that 4:30 to 5:45 window in the afternoon, or if it's in that morning window from 9 to 10. This is a big league. I've opened it up for ample hours. Uh, I mean, Tuesday alone, the tee sheet is open just to ladies for 8 hours a day. I'm hoping that if you sign up for the league, you'll be able to play in those windows. The other thing I could say is if you get shut out for one reason, you're like, I can't believe this. I just can only play from 4:30 to 5:30. They're all sold out. Call the day of. Call the day off. Someone is going to cancel. Yeah, it will cancel. There's 330 ladies in this league. Someone's going to have to pick up a child at school. Someone is going to hurt their back. I mean, something's going to happen. Just has to happen. So call the day off, even if it's an hour before. We'll probably be able to squeeze you in. How do you come up with a handicap? Good question. Some of the ladies already have handicaps. It's all based on prior scores. So you're turning your score in after every round if you are trying to develop a handicap. After I think it's 5 9-hole rounds, you will have a handicap developed. If you don't have any rounds of golf, you're going to have to develop one by turning in 5 scores. Those scores don't necessarily need to be here at the Lyman Orchards. So if you play a round of golf on April 4th at Sleeping Giant and you shoot 40, you could post that on your own using your GIN number. And you'll go into gin.com and post your score, and you'll be on your way to getting a handicap faster than if you had to wait 5 weeks here at the Apple 9. Can Tuesday League members sign up for Monday tee times, or is Monday for Monday League only? Monday is for Monday League only. If you'd like to join the Monday League, you're more than welcome to. We have spots available. I don't plan on closing registration for that. But the good news is if you're playing in the Tuesday League and you want to play on Monday, there's plenty of times available. You can play before 9, you can play after 10. That wouldn't be in the league, but you could still play. You would play regular rates. You wouldn't pay league rates, but that option is there for you. How do you remove a name if accidentally touched while signing up and they get added to your group? The app doesn't seem to allow this without starting over. Number one, I know you can call the pro shop. Give us a call for sure if that happens. Even if you have to leave a voicemail, say, I don't want to play with John Dipollina. I put his name in. I thought it was Joan Dipollina. I apologize. Call it and we'll take it off. Especially if it's during operating hours. It's not a problem. My staff has obviously admin access. I don't know the intricacies of what you see on your side. I work on the management side of the website, so maybe there is a way. Maybe one of the ladies on this call knows the way to do it. I know you can't do it day of, that's for sure. But maybe one of the other ladies can share that information with us. Are rakes to be left in or out of the bunker? Great question. because every course is different, and we have to be difficult, and we have to say leave it in the bunker. It's on some of the rakes. If you go, especially on the Jones and Player course, it's like a sticker on some of these rakes that say, please leave the rake in the bunker. It's different strokes for different folks. All courses are different. So, but here at Lyman, we ask you to leave it in the bunker. How often in the season is your handicap updated? So this is one of the big changes for Social League. Your handicap will be updated once a week, not once every 6 weeks. In the past, social would be done every 6 weeks by hand, by me in the office, and it took 4 hours per time. Trying to eliminate that by giving you your own handicap. So now I push a button and it just does it with the algorithm through gin.com. So I do it once a week. So I'll probably do that in preparation for the Monday round of golf. I'll probably do it either on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Your handicap will be updated. Could it be? It could be updated as much as daily now. I don't know if I'll go daily, but I certainly will go weekly. All right. That is all the questions I have for the chat board. If anyone has any questions they just want to speak up about, please do so. Just unmute yourself and ask the question. Clearly, I go over a lot in this presentation. Uh, you're gonna think of something over the course of the evening, next week, 2 weeks from now. Feel free to email me anything you want in regards to questions. Be happy to do it. Uh, we try to make this league better and better and better every year. I believe we are because the league sold out before Valentine's Day this year. So I know we're doing something right. Uh, I had to turn a lot of people down. We did wiggle a couple more people in to the league because of cancellation. So I was happy to do that. But if you have any questions about the league, like I said, please ask my the counter team at Jones and Player. They may not have the answers. I got them. So if I'm not here, just email me and I'll try to get back to you within 24 hours with your question. Let's see, a couple more questions did come through. One was, did I understand that you are sending us the GIN number? Yes, it's coming. There's 330 ladies to process. I got through the D's today for just Social League. If you're a new competitive league lady, I haven't gotten there yet. I will get there. Everyone will get their own GIN number. And this is really useful. You'll be able to track your scores throughout the year, and you'll be able to see if you're getting better, staying the same. I hope not getting worse, but if you're getting worse, don't worry. There's 8 people here that can make you better. I promise you that. Once again, a reminder, tomorrow, 7 a.m., times will open up for next Tuesday, next Wednesday, next Thursday, and then the following Tuesday. So you'll have the opportunity to sign up for 4 different events. All the other ones will open up in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks from their play date. But tomorrow there'll be a bunch that open because of this meeting, and I wanted to make sure we had the meeting before we opened up play. When will this presentation be posted? Ooh, good question. In 1 hour to YouTube. So I will get this thing up to YouTube. I'll email all the ladies because obviously not all the ladies were able to make the call. And I will send you the link. You'll be able to see it. And I will also link it to the website under the Lyman website, our website, so that anyone from the general public wants to see how we run this bad boy. They can see that for themselves. All right, if there's no other questions, I'm going to wrap it up. I thank you all for making the time. Once again, it'll go live tomorrow at 7, and before you go to bed, you should get an email from me with this uploaded to YouTube. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.